Right. Today we'll talk about the JavaScript basics. Right. Not only JavaScript, any scripting language, these basics will be helpful. Okay. So first we'll start with variables. Okay. So generally, in any of the scripting, we'll define variables to store some data. We'll define variables to store some data. It could be static data or it could be a dynamic data. For example, simple mathematics. Okay. X equals to 100. Right. So 100 is a value, and where we are storing in the variable called x. In the variable called x, 100 is a value we are storing in the variable called x. So name equal to service now. So service now is a value. Am I audible, everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. Service now is a value like similar to 100, and it is being stored in a variable called name. Okay. So equal to is the operator here to store this value into a variable called name. So right side value will be stored onto the left side variable. Left side, whatever you declare, it's called variable. Right side is a value, and we'll be using operator called equal to. Okay. So simple mathematics in order to understand variable. Variable generally stores data. Variable generally stores data. So in JavaScript, how do you create or declare a variable? Variable declaration. How do you declare a variable? So we declare a variable using a keyword called var. Okay. Variable is declared var. Okay. So how do you declare a variable? So variable x equals to service now. Okay. So x is a value we are storing into a variable called, sorry, service now is a value where we are storing into a variable called x. So this is just a declaration. Okay. This is what declaration. So declaring a variable is nothing but just defining a variable. So declaring a variable, and then if you are storing a value into the variable like this, if you are storing a value something like this, then it is called initialization. Initialization. So this variable x is nothing but declaration, and if you're storing any value into x, it is called initialization. Getting it? So you can also do this way. So variable x is the declaration, and x equals to service now. Getting it? X equal to service now. So service now is a value. It is stored in the variable called x. Getting it? Simple. So observe carefully here. So this is called x. X variable. Okay. So this is called X variable. Right. So this is called X variable. Now consider this as some storage. Okay. A storage, the name is X. And what you can do, you can store some value here, right? So X equal to 100. Getting it? So now, so that is nothing but X equal to 100. Getting it? So X is now 100 stored in this storage. Now what I'm doing, I'm saying X equal to service now. That means in whichever the place X is defined, so in that place 100 will be overridden with service now. Getting it? 100 will be overridden with service now. Just a moment, we need to erase it. So 100 value will be overridden with service now value. So that means this storage is occupied, updated, overridden with service now. Now if you pass some other value, so X equals to something like this. So if you, because you are using same variable is being used, so value will be overridden. So the latest value will override on the previous value. So now this is the value that you're passing. Then the service now will be overridden with, so getting it. So this is how variable will be used. It is nothing but used to store some value. Everybody clear? So in JavaScript, we will be using keyword called var to declare a variable. And if you're not using var keyword, then system will not understand X. System will not understand X. So system will say undefined variable if you are using X. Okay. So that's about variable. So there are variable types. Okay. Variable types. So one is string, another is either it could be integer, you can say. Okay. Integer, float, array, object, or JSON. You can say JSON. Okay. JSON, Boolean. Okay. Boolean. So these are the different variable types we have. So we'll understand them. Just give me a minute. I'll be back. It can store alphanumeric, special characters, data. So string variable can store alphanumeric, special character, data. So example, something like this. So variable request is equals to ServiceNow course at the rate 7 a.m. Right. So I'm declaring a variable call. I'm declaring a variable called course, and I'm having a value called ServiceNow course at the rate 7 a.m. You see here, ServiceNow course. These are all alphabets, right? Alphabets, and this is a special character, and there are spaces as well in between, and this is some number, and this is again alphabets. So it's an alphabets and special characters and number combination. So generally string variable can store this kind of data. Okay, string variable can have this kind of data. Not only the combination, it can have individual separate kind of data as well. Like for example, so string variable always should be denoted with single or double quotes. Here it is double quotes, right? Can also denote with single quotes as well. But you should use either single or double quotes mandatorily if you are declaring a string variable. Now, for example, I am defining other variable. I'm saying morning class equals to ServiceNow. So this is also string data. Any data which is present within single or double quotes is called a string data. Okay, variable name is equals to Hyderabad. So I can use single quote as well this way. Getting it? So anything which you define in single quote or double quote, it is called a string data. String data. String data. Any questions here? Anybody? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that's about string data. So we need to be very clear about all these data types because we'll be using them while writing scripts. So I should be very attentive here. Next is integer data. What do you mean by integer data? Anybody? Integer data is nothing but the data, the string which the variable which can store the numbers data. Okay, numbers data from minus infinity to plus infinity. Minus infinity to plus infinity. A variable which can store numbers. It's called a integer. For example, can store number data from minus infinity to plus infinity. I don't have infinity symbol here. Say for example, example so example so variable amount equal to 100. Right. Variable amount equal to 100 or variable count is equals to 25. So this is how. Getting it. So it is storing the numbers and you're not defining the value within single or double quotes. You're not supposed to define the numbers in single or double quotes. If you're defining a numbers in single or double quotes, then that becomes a string. That becomes a string. Getting it? Now, float. It can store decimal values Example, variable value is equals to, or you can say amount is equals to 100.34. See here? So float can store a value with some dot of with some digits after the dot. Getting it? So whereas integer cannot store this kind of value. So it will store exact value, right? So this is called integer and this is called float value. Similarly, variable. Right? So this is also a float value. Next. So it can store Boolean. It can store two values only. Two values only, true or false. Okay. It can store only two values, that is true or false. So few cases, for example, today is Friday. The answer is true. Getting it? So today is Sunday. So the result is false. Getting it? So true or false combination, right? Wherever the cases you wanted to check this combination, like true or false conditional check, then you can use Boolean type of variable. Getting it? So for conditional checks, this Boolean variable will be used. Array. So array is nothing but, so as of now we have seen different types of variables, right? All the variables will store only single value at a time. So this name is storing Hyderabad, morning class is storing service now, course is storing this value. So all these variables are storing only single value. Getting it? Now, array is such a variable where we can store multiple values. Multiple values you can store, okay, in an array. So it can store multiple values. Getting it? So multiple values in the sense like this. Variable city is equals to, so array declaration will be something like this. Okay. Array will be declared with singular, open and close square brackets, and this is the array variable name, right? So now I can do something like this. So city is nothing but array now. Array is equals to, within single and double, within the square brackets, I'll say Hyderabad. So this Hyderabad is one value, right? So it is one string data. Getting it? Now I can store other value, say Bangalore. So it is second value. Delhi, third value. Mumbai, fourth value. Getting it? So here you can see I'm able to store multiple values in an array. Getting it? So for this kind of scenarios, we'll be using arrays. So arrays can store multiple values. And we'll talk about how do we read these array values, right? So if I want to read the array values, how do you read? We'll talk about them later. Any questions so far? Anybody? Right. So JSON, it is an object which can store data in key values. Okay, which can store data in key values. Say for example, variable. So this is how the JSON declaration will be. So array declaration will be within open and close brackets, but here it will be in flower brace. Okay, open and close flower brace. Now key values, data will be stored in the form of key values. Say request is equals to within open and close brackets. So this is how the key and this is how the value. So in this format you will have the data key and the value. Say for example variable request equals to so this is key column value. Then you can add can store multiple keys here using comma, right? So in array also you're using comma for separating two different values. So here also comma, next another key, name, incident, another key, status, open. Getting it? So now this way you can store key values type kind of data in the JSON. Are these variable types clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Anybody has any doubts so far? Right. So next we'll talk about operators. Okay, operators. Operators are used to establish connection between variable and the value. Okay, they're used to establish connection between variable and value. So there are different types of operators. Arithmetic operators, conditional operators. Assignment operators. So all these things you might have learned in your graduation if you're from IT, CSC or EC, right? Assignment operators. Next. Increment or decrement operators. Correct. So these are the various types of operators. So arithmetic operators. So operators used for some calculation. These operators are used to do maths calculations. Example, plus, minus, divided by. So this is divided by, and this is multiple, and this is percentile. Okay, and ampersand. I don't think ampersand is used. So percentile, right? So these are the operators used for arithmetic operations, like a plus b, 1 plus 2, 3 minus 2, 5 divided by 1, 5 into 2, 5 percentile, 5. Getting it? So these are the various operators, right? So something like this. So variable x equal to 100, variable y is equals to 200, variable z is equals to x plus y. So here you see I'm using plus operator. So variable x equal to 100, variable y equal to 200. So x is 100, y equal to 200. I'm declaring another variable called z. Z is nothing but it's an addition of x and y. X plus y. So plus operator is nothing but arithmetic operator. So here you will have z is equals to 300 because it's an addition, simple addition. Clear? Now variable. So p is equals to x minus y. Right. So p is equals to minus 100. Right. So this is minus is an arithmetic operator and you're getting the result. Next, variable z is equals to y divided by x. So you see here every line I'm terminating with semicolon. Okay, it's not mandatory, but you should do it. Okay, so every JavaScript line that you write should be terminated with semicolon. Now z is equals to 200 divided by 100. So it will be 2, right? So next, variable z is equals to, not z, w is equals to x into y, right? So w is equals to 200 into 100. So it is 20,000. Getting it? So this is what. Next, percentile is nothing but it will give you the reminder. Percentile gives the remainder after division. So variable d is equals to y percentile x. Y percentile x. Y percentile x means 200 percentile 100. So result is the remainder is 0 here, right? So when you're dividing 200 with 100, remainder is 2, quotient is, so remainder is 0 and quotient is 2. So here d is equals to 0. So percentile gives remainder value, that is 0. Right? So that's about the arithmetic operators. Next is conditional operators. So conditional operators, so before conditional, let's discuss about this assignment operators. So assignment operators, these operators are used to assign values to the variables. Okay, values to the variables. For example, equal to, right? Equal to is an assignment operator. So observe carefully. So variable z is equals to, see here. So service now is a string value and I'm assigning it to z variable using equal to operator. Getting it? So this is equal to operator is used to assign value service now to z variable. Getting it? So this way you are using equal to operator. You're using equal to operator. Getting it? So assignment operators. Conditional operators, the operators which are used to check the conditions. Condition, so operators used to check the condition between the variable and the value. Variable and the value. For example, operators are double equal to, comma, triple equal to, or greater than, or greater than or equal to. Less than, less than or equal to, not equal to, right? So these are the other operators, conditional operators. We also have Boolean operators. So conditional operators. So these are all conditional operators. Example. Say for example, variable x equals to 200, variable y is equals to 400. Okay, so these are the two variables with two different values. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm checking the condition. Using this conditional operators, I'm checking the condition. So if x equal to y, so I'm using first operator, that is double equal to. Double equal to means it will check the equality of the value. So here it is 200, it is 400. So 200 is definitely not equal to 400. Getting it? Double equal to means equality check. Whether values are equal or not is going to be checked using double equal to. Whether values are equal or not, it's going to be checked using double equal to. Getting it? So if x equal to y are the same, are the values same, guys? Is x and y are same?
No.
Is the x and y are same?
No.
So this condition will not execute because condition is failed here. Getting it? So I can say so print yes. So if this condition is true, then it's the syntax is going to print x, else print no. Getting it? So if the condition is satisfied, then it's going to print x. The condition is not satisfied, then it's going to check for else. Else, if this condition is failed, then it will not execute these lines directly. It will execute else lines and then it will print no. So output will be no. So if you're giving y also 200 here, then this equality condition will be true. Then it's going to print yes. Now it's not going to execute this because already this is executed. So equality is used to check the value equality or not, whether value is equal or not. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, I'm giving something like this. X is 200, Y is within single quotes 200. So what is this value? What type of data it is? X is please integer, correct. What about Y? Which one? String, right? So now observe carefully here. So equality is just used to check the value is equal or not. Value is equal or not. It's not going to check whether what type of data it is. It's not going to check what type of data it is. Getting it? So double equal to checks the equality of the values, but not the type of data. Getting it? So in this case, so x equal to 200, y equal to string of 200. So what will be the result? Is this going to be executed or this one going to be executed? Anybody? Anybody? What will be the output?
No.
No.
Yes.
Why? Why no?
Why? Because we are initiating y is equal to 200. It is the string.
Okay. But equality always checks the value, whether it is equal or not. It's not going to check what type of data it is. What type of data it is not going to be checked using double equal to. Getting it? So x is 200, y is also 200, but it's a string data. So double equal to will not check whether it is a string data or integer data or float data, right? So it's going to check whether value is same or not. 200 is same and 200 is same, but data is different. Type is different. Double equal to will not check the type of data. So this syntax is going to get executed. So this condition will be true. Getting it? So double equal to will ignore the type of data. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So it's going to print yes as the output. Getting it? Now for example, so triple equal to. So triple equal to checks the equality of the values and also checks the type of data. Triple equal to is going to check the equality of the values, but also the type of data. Type of data. So now, for example, I'm putting triple equal to now. Anybody? What will be the output? Anybody?
No.
No. Reason?
Sir, it is integer and string now.
Right. Correct. So both values are same, but type is different here. Right. So triple equal to will check the type as well. So since type is not matching, so the syntax will not be executed. So condition is failed and it goes to the else case and it will print no. Getting it? So that's about triple equal to. So these two are important. You can expect questions in the interviews. What is double equal to? What is triple equal to? Next, greater than. For example, greater than is nothing but normal mathematics only. Okay, greater than symbol. So 200 is here. So I'm taking some $400 here. Getting it? X is 200, Y is 400. X greater than 2, X greater than Y. So 200 greater than 400. So condition is failed. So this condition will not be executed. Goes to the else case and it will print no. Getting it? Because condition failed. Greater than or equal to. So for example, I'm using greater than or equal to. So X is 200, Y is 400. 200 greater than or equal to 400. Condition failed. So this is failed. It's not going to execute. Goes to the else case and it will print no. Getting it? Next. Less than. Less than. So x is 200, y is 400. So 200 less than 400. Yes. Condition true. And it's going to print yes. Then it's not going to execute else case. Getting it? Greater than or equal to. X is 200, y is 400. X less than or equal to y. That is 200 less than or equal to 400. Condition true. This is true. It's going to print the output as yes. Getting it? Not equal to. So this is not equal to. So double equal to will check the equality. This exclamation and then equal to. This indicates not equal to. Okay? Not equal to. Not equal to. Right? So now if x not equal to y, that means x is 200, y is 400. So x not equal to y. Yes. 200 not equal to 400. Yes. Condition true. So print, it's going to print yes. If you give 200 here. So x is 200, y is 200. 200 not equal to 200. No. Condition failed. Then it's going to go for else case and it will print no. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
So please do practice. Most important. All these things are very important. So you should spend more time than me after the class. Getting it? So development is not so easy like administration. So will be difficult to understand the scripts if you're not practicing regularly. So please practice whatever I'm discussing, and also whatever the tutorial link that I gave, right? Refer to that. Do some extra practice. Just be advanced than me on the topics that I'm discussing. So today I discussed variables and data types, right? You should cover both, and also you should look for next topic as well, so that will be easy for you to understand the class. Clear? Any questions? Thank you. We'll connect to the next class.
Thank you, sir.